This week we've got videos going viral from dozens of people showing off their fake-looking rubbery food. The search for missing British teen Jay Slater has finally come to an end. And oh my lord, I was 87 seconds away from being absolutely destroyed in the comments. All of that and more, so let's get cracking. Okay, let's kick today off with this. Introducing all of the people that you are arguing with online. Yes, what you are seeing is the Chinese phone farms. Now, this is just one example of the hundreds, if not thousands of these farms that exist all around the world today. Each farm has hundreds upon hundreds of smartphones, all with their screen and their batteries removed, which are placed into racks and then connected to one single computer. Each of these phones represents an individual user. One command from the computer, operated by the Click Farmer, can trigger hundreds of identical likes, follows, comments, or star ratings. And now, with the introduction of AI, you can get intelligent, almost human-like interactions unique to the video that we're talking about, to the point where you don't even know what's real anymore. I mean, anyone who's spent any time on TikTok will know what I'm talking about when I say Ashley. She has got smart over the years. But I guess the question is, why? Why go to all of this effort? Well, it can range from simple things like making money all the way to threats to democracy, but we'll get to the second one later. Making money is pretty simple because click farmers basically get paid for fake engagement. They can receive 2 cents per 1,000 views they get on TikTok, 11 cents for 1,000 likes on Instagram, and they even get payment for streams on Spotify. So if we do fail to hit that 100K each video by the end of the year, you know where I'm going. And I mean, just to put into perspective how rampant this is, 6 years ago, 1/3 of all traffic generated online in China was due to these farms. So I am terrified to think what it looks like in 2024 with AI. But yes, it can also go all the way up to threats to democracy. Hoorah! This is because studies have confirmed that in 2016, Russian troll farms were found to have created thousands of fake social media accounts that pretended to be Americans supporting radical political groups, tried to influence people's opinions, and of course, ultimately sway the election. Man, good luck for this year. And being in this industry myself right now, I don't even know. It's going to be a wild lead up to the elections.
Okay. What kind of American are you?
So I guess ultimately the advice is, next time you see a comment or a video that gaslights the hell out of you, just maybe think twice about where it may have come from before you waste your time going into a comment war. And I mean, speaking about comments, and we'll talk about this later, but I am furious with last video's comment section. But before we get there, let's move on to the next story. Okay, we need to ask the question, what the hell is going on with food in America? Because recently, a bunch of videos have gone mega viral, and I'm talking like 40 million views in one video viral, showing food that looks fake and rubbery, leading everyone in the comments to say, laughs in European, or America's food industry is cooked. The question is America's food industry actually cooked? Well, firstly, watching these videos, some of them have pretty standard explanations. Like take the avocados. You know, they often look like this when they're not ripe. Maybe it's just because not enough people eat vegetables. Or is an avocado a fruit? Yeah, fruits have seeds. It's a fruit. It's just usually when I think of fruit, I think of sweet. I don't have to justify myself to you. Put in there, Alex. Non-justification. Ah! However, other fruits, like the single rubber blueberry in a pack of real ones, is pretty hard to explain and kind of strange. But then again, humans are kind of insane. Because when I lived in Australia, someone was putting needles into strawberries. So yeah, one rubber blueberry in a pack of real ones, it's not too hard to imagine someone doing. But aside from all of that, the real question and the concern for all of these people in the comments is about GMOs, genetically modified organisms. And for the few people that don't know, it's essentially a pretty common practice now of altering a plant's DNA for specific purposes. For example, 92% of US corn is genetically engineered to resist certain types of pests. And in terms of whether genetically modified food is safe and good, it's a rabbit hole to go down because the vast majority of studies say it is perfectly fine. And I don't think there is one case study that I've come across where people have become ill because of consuming this. But then again, it's very, very hard to control and track someone through their entire life. And how do you even control the variables? Because you're eating a piece of fruit. But think about all of the other things that you're doing in your life that could cause sickness. So there's all of that stuff. And then there's also other countries that have banned genetically modified crops like Peru, and we'll get to that in a second. So the science says it's okay. Other things say it might not be. So that was the whole reason I'm not going to get into that. Now, with that aside, I'm not here to defend America's food industry because it's far from ideal. And they have dozens of food items that are banned or heavily regulated in other countries due to their ingredients, which they think it's fine. And if you read this book, it's slightly concerning. But when it comes to these rubbery fruits going viral on TikTok, I don't think America is to blame at all. Because firstly, it is highly unlikely that these fruits are even from the US in the first place. And that's because the majority of fruit that Americans eat is imported from other countries. Secondly, all of those rubbery fruits in those videos are not even on the FDA's list of GM crops in the US. So them being genetically modified in America at least is it's actually not possible. I was going to say unlikely. So then thirdly, could it be, from another country that they genetically modified it? Well, very unlikely. Because the number 1 and number 2 seller of fruit to the UK, Mexico and Peru, which combined make up a huge proportion of imports to America, well, they both banned GMO crops in 2021. So considering all of this, the truth is, there are so many reasons as to why these fruits could have this strange texture. Like them not being ripe, their temperature, were they frozen and unfrozen? What were their growing conditions like? All of the process that they go through in storage and handling before they even get to the store. Heck, people even faking these videos for views and likes. But despite all of these more probable potentials, it is far more of an interesting story to say that America is poisoning their population with fake fruits. So I guess, naturally, people go with that. And let's be honest. People refuse to eat a watermelon with a strange texture in the name of health, but then have absolutely no problem slamming down chocolate bars and fast food and all the other shit that is actually killing you slowly. We are not logical creatures. But I would love to hear your thoughts on that subject. Moving on. Now, we've got a couple of stories here that are updates from last week, starting with the search for the missing British teenager Jay Slater. Because yesterday, that was officially called off. And not because they found him, because they couldn't find him. Yeah, wish I had better news for you. So basically, yesterday, authorities urged the public this time to do one final push, hoping for a massive turnout, and they could finally find him. But only 6 people turned up. Weird. Especially because this has been a pretty big public case in the news, and everyone, the views that it gets is insane. So 6 people? Anyway, these volunteers, along with officials, which made up a group of about 30 to 40 people, searched all day, and still nothing was found. And that is on top of almost 2 weeks of searching now. Because of this, a spokesperson for the Tenerife police said that they cannot keep on looking forever. And although the search has now concluded and they're calling it off, the investigation will remain open. So what that seems to signal is that they might just be shifting their focus onto other ways he may have disappeared, and not just him collapsing, trying to walk home, or losing his footing or something like that. They declined to respond as to whether they're thinking about criminal side of things now. And we kind of called it last week. But officially, as of right now, this situation doesn't make any sense. But when it starts to, of course, I'll keep you updated. Okay, I didn't think that I was going to be talking about the Hawk Tuah girl again, but here we are. That's because yesterday she came out of hiding and spoke about the whole situation for the first time. Actually, to be fair, the first time she was seen publicly after this was she went on stage with Zach Bryan, and then for some reason met Shaquille O'Neal. And boy, look at that man's face. I don't even want to know what bro is thinking. Anyway, as we can see by the past couple of days, she's not only embracing this newfound fame, but she's capitalizing on it. And not in a bad way. Okay, please. And if she does what she says she's gonna do, you might be seeing the Hawk Tuah girl a little bit more often. So a couple of interesting things from the podcast. She said that when the video went viral, basically people lied about everything. Shock. For someone that works in the news industry, this does not surprise me. They lied about who she was, what job she had, who her dad was, and except, let's not even talk about all of that. She said that her family, including her dad, for everyone in the comments, doesn't really care and thinks it's funny. So she said that she's had loads of creepy people reaching out to her, including, and this one is horrible, but someone asked the man who was helping her sell those Hawk Tuah caps to ask her if she would Hawk Tuah into a jar and then sell it to him for $600. Too much information, probably. So maybe this clicked something in her brain, but she realized, woo, there is a money-making opportunity right here. So she's decided to quit her factory job, employed management already, got a camera crew following her around, and has some big plans for the future. Now, I'm not exactly sure what she means by this, but she said that she's going to start a show. And I guess by show, that's either YouTube or podcast, because I know they like to call podcast shows. But then, of course, I imagine she's going to get on TikTok, Instagram, the whole lot. And when I heard this, I was like, oh no. Here we go again. Because here's the thing, a lot of people don't understand about going viral. And I'm not saying that this is going to happen to Haley, but as a creator myself who came up on TikTok, I have seen this thing happen over and over again. People accidentally go viral on TikTok all the time. It's kind of what TikTok was all about. But going viral versus becoming a content creator are two very different things. So many people I've seen throughout the years got so many followers off of, one specific dance or one specific type of video. But then when they start creating other types of content, because doing one dance for the rest of your life isn't exactly sustainable, people unfollow because it's not what they followed for in the first place, and the new stuff that they're creating just isn't that good. I mean, I'll use myself as an example. I have over 11 million followers over on TikTok, and one of the reasons I've refused to tell any of them I have YouTube, apart from obviously I love you guys, is because I actually need to get good at making YouTube content before any of that. If I decided to flood everyone over from TikTok on YouTube on the first day and my content is crap, it doesn't matter who you are. No one wants to watch bad content, and everyone will just slowly dwindle away. So ideally, I want to get to the point where my YouTube content is good enough that it speaks for itself on YouTube without, my TikTok audience carrying me. And then you can open the floodgates, and then they're like, damn, this is great content. I'm so glad that there's also more. But you gotta lay the foundations. And it's the exact same as the Hawk Tuah girl. So let's just call her Haley from, I don't need to keep on saying that. Hawk Tuah. A lot of people will follow her and watch her content going forward because she's super famous now. But if the foundations of her being able to actually make good content for them to watch isn't there, it simply won't last. That is if she does decide to make a show. I mean, she could pivot into a whole different direction. And I guess thinking about it now, it's kind of annoying for her that the Hawk Tuah comment that she's most famous for, she probably won't like doing the pivot that makes the most sense. Alex, heavily imply with visuals what I'm trying to say here because I can't actually say it. But damn, that would be a good pivot. Anyway, with all that being said, I am rooting for her. She does seem like she has a great personality, so I reckon she can definitely make something of it. Anyway, best of luck. Haley Welsh. Everyone from the Empire wishes you luck. Moving on. Okay, so this last one is a little bit of a wild one. So England played last night, right? And everyone thought they were going to kind of just walk over Slovenia. They ranked 45th in the country. England's ranked 4th. But then they went 1-0 down in the first half. And it stayed that way until the 95th minute. And for everyone that doesn't really know about football, a football match is 90 minutes. So they were 5 minutes in to 6 minutes of extra time. And honestly, the closer and closer it got to the final whistle, all that was going on in my head was, holy shit. A couple of videos ago, I said that England was going to win the entire thing. That was my prediction. Remember we all put predictions in? England was mine. And if they went out this early, I was gonna get torn apart in the comments. And I mean, at this point, I didn't really care about, England going out. All I was thinking about, the 30-minute long video I was gonna have to make dedicated purely for whipping people that were, saying nonsense in the comments. And then this happened. Yes, with 87 seconds before I was going to get brutally verbally abused in the comments, Jude Bellingham scored a goal that will go down in English history. And then Kane scored the second goal in extra time, and we won. Woo! My prediction stays alive. But Italy did lose, so for anyone that predicted Italy, we can now just shame them. Alex, put everyone that voted Italy, that predicted Italy right here. Shame, 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 shame. You suck, you suck. Ha ha ha. Okay, with the shame out of the way, there's 2 or 3 things of personal stuff that I want to talk about. First of all, let's get the bad ones out of the way first. Seasonal whippings. First of all, I'm kind of baffled, flabbergasted to what the hell I saw in my last video. Usually I pick out 1 or 2 or 3 maybe of really disrespectful comments just to really put them in line and put them on the wall of whips. What do we call it, Alex? Can't even remember. But as I was going through the comments, there were hundreds, and they were all just about me being late. Now, I don't even think there was one good comment. It was just, you're late. You suck. I can't believe you're late again. Here we go. So at this point, and I'm sorry for maybe there was the good ones in there. I'm sorry, but you're just all getting thrown in. So Alex, every single person that commented on that video, put them there. Because we are going to make the NEWSDADDY empire respectful again. Yeah! 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 No, not again. No, 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 no. Fuck. Didn't exactly go to plan, I'm not gonna lie. Fuck! R.I.P. to a good one. For that? You bastards! I want this video to have 0 comments. 0 comments now. Man! Why am I getting a call from Sunderland, England? Guys, I think it is only right that we lay our poor fallen soldier to rest. Let's see if we can put him in heaven. Encased forever, because you are a truly beautiful fallen soldier. Oh God. Not the most stable of chairs. Get off the cross. Alright, the little pieces shall go up at the top. Parts of his body will be remembered. Oh my God. Alright, let's put you in heaven, good boy. Alright, now our fallen soldier will always be remembered. Hey! I mean, come on. You can't tell me that doesn't actually look a little bit better. Maybe with the efforts of trying to lay him to rest, he's come back with a vengeance. But anyway, fallen soldier, you are one of the good ones. You don't want to end up like our fallen soldier there. Like and comment. It's a good funeral. Man, do I even make the next announcement? My God. Okay, well, I will, but just know that I'm furious. I have a pretty massive announcement that's going to come in the next video, and potentially one of the biggest. And it might make me take some time off of YouTube, but because of that announcement, I was also wanting to float the idea of creating a Reddit. So I want to create a Reddit and get everyone in there so I can have a segment of just reactions for, you know, whatever people want to post, whatever you guys want to post. You know, it could be news stories, it could be just anything that you want to post. People can upvote it, downvote it, and I'll have a segment in each video of just stuff to, you know, the community wants to speak about, even though that community is real bastards right now. Bloody fuck you! Oh, I hope they get the reference. I hope you get the reference. So I'm just floating that idea. I will create it, but just let me know if you want a Reddit section so you can, you know, bring your stuff to this video as well. So it could be an us thing. Woo! Okay, right. With all of that out of the way, it was a bit of a wild one today. We did lose a light, but we served some justice to some bloody bastards. Thank you all. I will see you on Thursday or Friday But until then, let's get it out without... Oh!